The one thing that a lot of people are looking forward to and are very curious about Star Wars Episode 9 has all to do with the character of Luke Skywalker. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now that, of course, is a very important question. Exactly how is J.J. Abrams going to treat the character of Luke in this movie? Now, we do know that Luke Skywalker is coming back in the form of flashbacks and, of course, as a Force ghost in this film, which honestly not a lot of people are actually agreeing with that. Some people would highly prefer him come back in the form of being alive and well, as opposed to him being dead and in the afterlife or in the form of flashbacks. And I can totally understand people's opinions on that. I can totally feel everybody for that, of how Luke Skywalker is dead and not coming back to life. J.J. Abrams has said this before in the past, that no, you're dead, get used to it all. But who knows, he could be lying and doing another con situation here, like with Star Trek. We'll have to wait and see. Now, recently EW, Entertainment Weekly, reached out to Mark Hamill. They were asking him some questions about some of the projects that he's currently working on, including Star Wars Episode 9. And Mark Hamill was able to respond, and this is what he had to say briefly, which, by the way, the full story can be found below in the description. Go ahead and check it out. This is what Mark Hamill had to say. "I still have to go over and do Episode 9, Hamill said. Most of the parts I have coming up besides Star Wars are voiceover. There's one big one, very high profile, I can't announce now, that I'm really excited about." Hamill said he spent about a week on Episode 9 previously and will return for more shooting amid his Nightfall schedule. So what's really interesting here is that this matches directly up with Mark Hamill actually to begin filming in the middle of December all the way into the end of February of 2019. Now, you guys may recall a couple of weeks ago, actually it might have been like over a month or so ago, where Mark Hamill made this tweet with a shaved beard on Twitter showing us that he was actually on the set or getting ready to go on the set for Star Wars Episode 9. Now that right then and there could have been for some of the flashbacks to come in Episode 9. Now where he's actually returning to the set of Episode 9 for roughly a little over 2 months of shooting. This could very well be either the Force Ghost version of Luke or more flashbacks or a mixture of both. So this is what Mark Hamill had to say. That's what he had to say. He said that he's going to be returning to the set of Episode 9. He still has to do more of that. He's already shot some scenes for the movie, which is great. And those scenes that he actually shot previously included Luke with a shaved face, Mark Hamill with no beard at all. I believe that had all to do with the flashback sequences. Now, the thing here is this. When it comes to Mark Hamill, we do know that there are 2 big dedicated sets only for him, alright, that will include him acting scenes with Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley, and another set that includes all 3 of the characters together into one big sequence. Now, I'm really honestly intrigued and just very interested in exactly what J.J. Abrams is going to pull here with Episode 9 for the character of Luke. Now, I believe what he's going to do is, yes, he's going to deliver us a different form of a Force ghost in Episode 9. Now, after all, Luke Skywalker is a very powerful figure, though I wish that he was actually presented in a way where he was actually seen as a extremely powerful figure, where he's knocking down Star Destroyers and all the like, but he pulled off the Force projection technique, a technique that literally killed the man by using that power across the entire galaxy. Basically, that Force projection was taking a lot of his life out of him, and that's why he died. It was basically, as Mark Hamill joked before, he overdosed on the Force. That's what Mark Hamill said. That was his little joke there. So Mark Hamill, we do know that he's going to be shooting mainly for the 3rd act of this movie when it comes to Episode 9, because Episode 9 is being, of course, shot in order. So the fact that they shot the 1st act of the movie first and the 2nd act, Mark Hamill has actually shot sequences for those 2 acts, tells us that he will be appearing in the beginning and in the middle of the movie, as well as the end of this film. After all, it is the final Skywalker saga film. It's a very important movie. It is going to be dedicated to the Skywalker bloodline. That, of course, includes Anakin, Luke, Kylo Ren, and a whole lot more. So with that being said, guys, what do you think about Mark Hamill, and what do you think about the character of Luke in Episode 9? You know, what are your concerns about this movie? What are your hopes for this movie when it comes to Luke Skywalker? Do you want to see a Force Ghost / flashback sequence? Or are you actually not up for that at all? I would really love to hear your input about all of that below in the comments. Now, as for me, I think that flashbacks are great as long as they are done correctly. It can really fill in the gaps in between both the originals and the sequels and kind of just give us a bigger, broader story between the characters, of course, Ben Solo, Leia, Luke Skywalker, and so on and so forth. The other thing is the Force Ghost, right? We've never actually seen Luke Skywalker in the form of a Force Ghost. It really is going to be a rather interesting thing to think about. You know, thinking about it in concept right now inside my head, I'm really trying to figure out exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to present Luke in the form of a Force Ghost. And through all the different concept art and storyboard descriptions that we have been hearing about, he could be a more solid figure and less transparent, very much like Yoda in The Last Jedi, which honestly could be a good or a bad thing. We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.